Hello and welcome to the second race of the 2011 TurboSiders.com F1 League season. Live from Britain, we are here at the Kelston circuit for 39 laps of the British Grand Prix. I'm James Tucker. Joining me in the commentary booth is Xander Zock from Estonia. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. Hey everybody. And surely we'll be looking forward to a very exciting Grand Prix yet again. And we saw last week how different tactics might play out, and definitely there will be many hard-fought battles this time as well. Different pit stops will bring different fuel loads, and also we can never forget about tire wear. So here's hoping for less driving mistakes and more overtakes.
Yeah, we've got a great race coming up. We've got two long straights on this track, one from turn 16 all the way down to turn 2, and one from turn 13 all the way to turn 14, which should hopefully cause some overtaking. Also, we've got lots of long, sweeping corners seem to characterise this track, turn 5 and turn 8 being the main exceptions. Here's the point standings from last week. Lance and Shy Guy from the Fun team lead the points, followed by Taney in third, Etmil 4th, Mike Nike 5th, Pingu 6th, Mr. Pom 7th, Kynet Musty 8th, Arjen 9th, Heaven and 10th, Popowich 11th, Matic 12th, Dell 13th, and Day all the way back in 14th place. Disappointing start to the season for him. He'll want to get it underway this week.
He'll be looking forward to correcting that mistake.
So here we are, the pole lap. Day sits on the pole today by 300ths of a second. As you can see, he starts his lap through the sweeper at turn 1, heavy braking for turn 2, then hook it up through turn 3, flat down the hill to turn 5, just touch on the brakes, then into the fast chicane at turn 6 and 7, go back up the hill, into turn 8, a long sweeper that just seems to last forever. That sets you off into turn 9, as you see here, which links you straight into turn 10. Then through the sweeper at turn 11, into the hairpin at turn 12, get a good exit off here for a long back straight. Turn 13, through into turn 14, which sets you up for the final chicane, which will also be a spot to overtake. Turn 15 and 16, and that's the lap. 39.242, enough to take pole by 300ths of a second.
An awesome lap by him, just on the edge. The starting grid.
So, Day sits on the pole. Taney, his plus team teammate, sits second with less fuel, so an excellent lap from Day there. Pablino third for Team Fun, continuing their run of good qualifying. Etmil, an excellent qualifying for him in fourth with 25% fuel. Lex, an incredible surprise in fifth, and Lance, last year's winner, starts sixth with 35% fuel. Mr. Pom, seventh, Sincere, eighth, Shy Guy, a disappointing ninth after his second place last week. Lux starts 10th. Mike Knight, it's probably his worst qualifying ever down in 11th, 29% fuel. Awful qualifying for him. Dell starts 12th, I'll be happy times for him. Popowich 13th, Heaven and 14th for the morons. John 5, who doesn't yet have a team, but he's had an excellent lap in pre-qualifying actually, third place there. Sejtan he also doesn't have a team in 16th. Ivan Drago for the DP team. Walkinger, who is a new driver, also without a team, and Exil bumps up the back of the grid in 19th. So Xander, we're about to get underway. How do you think this start could play out?
We'll definitely have a very exciting first lap, I think. I mean, there are many different lines you can take to these different corners, and also, and here we go. Here we go. We are all set up.
The free lights are on, and we're away in the British Grand Prix.
Taney has got a bad start.
Great start. Taney's got a bad start, but he manages to catch back up through the chicane. Here they go. And Taney's up the inside of Day, and Taney's going to take the lead. The lead goes away to Taney. Pavlino's going backwards. He's lost loads of positions from the grid. Very poor stuff from him. And he's going wide, and he's lost even more positions.
And back there, Edmund is fighting with the guys from the back rows, and lost very many positions there in the back straight. He's already down to 7th or 6th, I think. And here come the leaders. Danny has gone wide.
Dane's passed back into the lead then.
We have Dede in lead and Tiny in second place. Third is Lex, followed by Silsby. Fifth is Lance, and sixth is Edmil.
Yeah, look at this. Etmil's going for a move on the outside of Lance. He's going to make it stick. What a move from Etmil there. Just incredible move.
Will he make it stick, or will he have trouble keeping it?
And he's going to have to defend now down the long back stretch, but he does it, although Shy Guy managed to sneak past. And there's Dell going to go on the outside of Peepenham, but he doesn't quite make that one stick. And Etmil now forces his way back past Shy Guy after he goes deep in the chicane. Here's Taney tracking Dede. These two seem pretty matched on lap times at the moment.
And the crowded corners here, we have there's 5 or 6 drivers here. This leading the yellow car is who's that? Not sure though. But anyway.
Anyway, here's an action replay then of the start.
We'll have a look.
So Dede got a good getaway, but then Taney got a little bump from Pablino and managed to get him right back up to him. And then Dede just goes wide there in turn 5, misses the apex completely, which lets Taney in. He just outbrakes him into the fast chicane at 6 and 7. And look at Pablino there getting on the sand in turn 7 and just losing about 4 positions all in one corner.
And basically Hilbury went past him.
Yeah. And here again is the second pass for the lead. So Dede closed up on the backstretch, pressured Taney a bit, and Taney just ran wide on the curb. Dede gets past easily. And here's Etmil's fantastic move. Look how he outbraked around the outside there, using all of the road, and now the inside for the next corner. As those are the two fun cars that are battling after winning 1-2 last week in the Italian Grand Prix. So back to the action. Lino trying to make up from a terrible start.
We have Pablino is he 9th or even more back?
He's about 9th, yes. Poor from him. Here's Silcia battling Lex for 3rd position. Great start from Lex.
Yeah, definitely. The IR team looking very good now. Edmund has found his way back to 5th after losing many positions in the start in the first laps. He's battling Silcia right now.
So, Silcia trying to find a way past Lex. And it looks like Silcia gave Lex a little bump, but he just let him through really. Maybe thought it's too early in the race to battle him at this point. And look at Mike Knight getting on the grass a bit there, and Pablino's made up another spot as he tries to charge back up to the front. So that's Pablino up to 8th place now. Let's look at this. Lex is trying to get past Etmil, so obviously Etmil got past Lex somewhere there. Maybe Lex made a mistake.
Yeah, it was a mistake by Lex and opened up the gap, a window to Etmil to get past.
So it looks like Etmil's pulling away a little bit here. And here is the battle for the lead then. 2 leaders separated by not much. 0.4 seconds. This is what we've come to expect from the F1 League. Domination from the 2+ team drivers.
And there will be very much looking forward to just correcting that last circuit's last race's mistake that had him drop down to 14th in the end.
Yeah, definitely. He really needs a good race today, does he not?
Yeah, he does.
And Taney, he'll want to win, because 3rd place for him against the 2 fun drivers was certainly disappointing. And look at this. Taney's got to run at Dede here, and Dede's going to defend. And Taney goes down, and Dede's crashed.
Dede has crashed heavily into corner 2. What might be the problem? It seems that he had just lost steering all of a sudden.
And this is a disaster. He's losing positions. There goes such time through, Popo even. And his car is just sitting there now, and Taney leads the race by a good margin. And this isn't what Dede wanted at all.
Taney only has to bring it home now. No difficulty for him, I think.
Well, still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Look at this. He just goes straight on, no brakes at all. As if the brakes failed.
Yeah, either the brakes or the steering. He seems to be.
And he's driving around in circles.
Yeah, that's very weird.
Strange failure then for Day. He really needs to fix the reliability of his car before he loses this championship altogether. You get to drop 2 races, the 2 worst races, and he's used them both already. There's
Yes.
Day, Silsir, Etville, Lance, Pablino, trying to track down Pom and Lex, who made a great start, I have to say.
Lex is still running 5th.
Yeah, and there's Pablino going to the outside, and Mike Knight trying to go to the outside of Lex too. Look at Mike stalking them both. Sky Guy back there.
He's going back and forth between these 3 drivers: Lex, Pablino, and Mike Knight.
Lex just got a slight touch wide there and slid wide, and 2 drivers got past him. And here's Etville then trying to go to the outside of Silsir. Can't make it stick. Etville all the way up to trying to battle for second here. Through turn 5, can't quite get to the inside, and this is allowing Lance to catch up.
And Data pitted forward fuel, and he will be looking back to joining the race and trying to find some good overtakes.
Yeah, probably just hoping to limit the damage at the moment. As here comes Etville off the hairpin, he's getting a run on Silsir, and he gets a great run down the back straight and makes the pass stick. So Etville is up to second now, followed by Silsir and Lance. And here's Pablino going up the inside of Mr. Pom. Mr. Pom left him space. And here's Lance going up the inside of Silsir for 3rd place. And this is Shy Guy and Lex battling as well. Looks like Shy Guy's got past Lex. And those 2 have fallen all the way back to 8th place. As here is the race leader coming in for his pit stop. This is crucial where he comes out, whether he comes out in traffic, whether he can manage the traffic. Because Lance has enough fuel to stay out for a good 3-4 laps. In that time he could possibly jump him.
And out he goes. Edmund is also in.
Let's see where he comes out. Behind Mike Knight, so that's... we'll get a confirmation of that in a second. 7th place. 7th place. So, he's got the new tyres. He's got to get past Mike Knight and Mr. Pom here fast if he wants to win this race, because Lance is also staying out. He'll lead the race.
Yeah, and Taney doesn't want to be held up here.
He really needs to get past these drivers, and Mike Knight's going defensive, you have to say. Not letting him pass easily, and of course he has no need to. Here's Pablino in the pits then. He's probably going on a free stop strategy after his poor start.
Like there's Shy and Lux also coming in.
Here is Taney. He really needs to pass these cars, and Mr. Pom went wide and he's passed him. Now he's on to Mike Knight, and he's going to try for the outside, and Mike Knight just had to give way. Through that sweeper at turn 8, he just got wide. Here's the battle for the lead then.
Lance is first, and Silsey coming very closely in second.
But look at this, Taney is so close to the leaders, and he's made an extra pit stop. And here comes Mike into the pits. Let's see where he filters out.
Seems to be really going awesomely for Tiny right now. I mean, just controlling the race, no problems there in his first pit stop.
Yeah, it's only dangerous whether 2 stoppers can get ahead of him, because we're pretty sure he's free stopping again. Hasn't learnt from last week, but he thinks that strategy is the fastest, so fair enough to him.
Definitely, yeah.
So Silsir is dropping back from Lance a bit, you have to feel, and he's going to come into the pits then. But look at that, Taney has nearly tracked Lance down. Dominating drive so far from him, as Lex and Pom come into the pits too. We've got a bit of a crowded pit lane here, and Evening also in. Pablino goes through, so his early stop worked. He's ahead of Lex, Pom, and Shy Guy and Mike also go through, so they've managed to leapfrog that group.
This is Lance leading the race.
Now, of course, he'll have to do one less pit stop than Taney, but that means he really needs to fill the gap. So we'll see what he can here.
And Tiny was already coming out of the final corner, so he gets the lead back, and Lance will be coming out and behind Edmil then, yeah?
Yep, that's behind Atmil. And he's going to battle with his fun teammate Pablino. He's got the new tyres. Pablino stopped quite early, so he doesn't want to be held up too much here. They're very close on the way out of the pits.
Yeah, but they also wouldn't want to ruin each other's race, so have to give each other space, enough
Yeah,
space.
of course, yeah. Being teammates and everything. Here's Pom and Shy Guy battling. As Taney sets the fastest lap of the race after his pit stop on the new tyres, and Pom looked like he got past Shy Guy quite cleanly there. Here's Silsir then. Still behind Lance, but he seems to have caught back up actually in the pit stop phases.
Just 0.3 of a second between them. Between Lance and Silsir. The 4th and 5th currently.
Yeah, but that's because those in front of them have not stopped yet. Pablino running ahead of them. Great early stop for him, that really worked out well for him.
Yeah.
Silsir, you have to say, putting up an excellent performance. No team yet, perhaps you better think about that. I'm sure any team will be lucky to have him as he runs wide onto the curb and loses time. As here is our leader. Lapping traffic, cool, calm, collected at the front of the field.
Yeah, already on lap 17th, I think, yeah. So very, very quick.
After Dede's early problem, Dede is up and running again, but as we saw him do a pit stop, but no chance of winning the race. He's laps down. Taney has just taken off this race. He's leading, dominating, and sets another fastest lap. That's important actually, because he needs to build a pit stops gap over Etmil, who's probably also two-stopping. So it's important now that he sets these fastest laps and gets the best out of his new tyres. Just completely on a rail in the way he's driving at the moment. It seems like his car just does exactly as he tells it to do. Points in exactly the right directions, cuts every corner perfectly.
Very fast and very constant.
As you can see, he sets another fastest lap, which is 1/1000th of a second faster than the last one. Driving like a robot today.
Incredible. It's literally just... This is just exactly 10 seconds basically between Taney and Edmund for second.
We reckon the magic number's about 11 seconds though, so he does need to open up another second. Otherwise he'll come out of his pit stop behind Edmund, and that will be disastrous because... And there's Shy Guy crashing.
Also having a problem there.
So, a higher rate of attrition this race than we've seen in previous ones, as Shy Guy looks like he's out of the race.
Oh, pity.
That's a shame from his home Grand Prix, very near to where he lives. After his second place last week, I know he was planning for better things, as Taney there gets on the sand a little bit, can't be slowed down too much, he's running the gap quite tight with Etmil. It's 11.24 seconds, so that's just about what he needs. He'll need a very fast in-lap here.
Edmund is still losing ground, I think.
Yeah, Etmil's just not got as good tyres as Taney here, and obviously nobody seems to have the skill. As he comes in, this is crucial. Coming out again, very fast pit stop from the Plus team boys. And he's out comfortably in the lead. There's Etmil behind by at least a second.
It was just right, I mean, just enough time to make the pit stop and come out.
He blitzed the pit entry, didn't he?
Yeah.
And here is Etmil driving for Invent Racing. Excellent second place so far.
Yeah, and he still has to bid at least once more, if not twice.
Yeah, it seems everybody will probably have to pit once more now, including Taney. So he's basically, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, not much can happen to him now.
Yeah, and he comes in. How much of a fuel load will he opt for? Looks like we had like a 27%, maybe a bit too much there.
That's probably fuel for the under race. Most certainly. Comes out 7th. Here's Mr. Pom then, just ahead of Etmiel. He's driving a solid race so far in 6th place now. Through the sweeper at turn 5. We have to say we haven't seen as much passing in this race as we did in the Italian Grand Prix, but it's still been tactically fascinating.
Yeah, fairly interesting race still.
Taney has run away with it slightly, you have to feel, but perhaps if Dede had not had that retirement or problem, perhaps then we'd have a much closer and more exciting race.
And there will be a very close fought battle for second and third, I think, for the other.
Yes, that's very true. We don't know who's going to get those podium places yet. Here's Etmiel trying to pass Pom then. He's right over him with the new tyres, but so far he hasn't found a way past. And Pom looks like he went slightly wide in that corner there, and Etmiel's going to have to try and defend on the backstretch. Brilliant move from Etmiel, just close the door shut. He's made some great overtakes this race.
Yeah, just makes it stick right there.
Here's Pablino coming out the pits. He's going to come out behind those two. He'll have fresh tyres. He is behind Pom and Etmiel. Look at that, there's a lap car going wide right in front of the battle for what is now probably second place on the road, I believe, between Lance and Silsir and Dadis. That's the fastest lap, so he's still running.
Still running, going very fast.
Still proving he's got speed. I just think what a great battle it could have been had he not had his problem.
Yeah. Two teammates, two very quick drivers there. Sadly, we couldn't see that today.
Anyway, we're still seeing battles. Here's Silsir versus Lance for second place in the Grand Prix. And here's Pablino then. He's caught up to the back of Mr. Pom with his new tyres. I just have to say, Mr. Pom's staying out very long on these old tyres. Perhaps he should come in and put a new set on, because he seems to be just losing positions. And Mr. Pom, see, he's gone wide again there, and he's lost the place again there.
Maybe he might be going for a one-stop strategy. I mean,
I don't think he has fuel enough to the end for that. I don't know.
So he still has to come in.
You can see Silsir, he's right behind Lance, but he's not. Doesn't seem to be making much ground into actually getting into his such. Oh,
Mr. Pom having the problem there. Probably a driving error.
Could be. And now Silsir's right over on the back of Lance, and it looks like Lance Phelps, he blocked him there and he's just going to let him through. That's an interesting behaviour there.
Maybe he's afraid of a penalty from stewards.
Yeah, it looks like Silsir just hit his back a bit and he just let him pass. Oh, look at Pom going off as Lex comes into the pits. Great race so far from Lex. Maybe he could finish on the lead lap, which would be a great achievement for him.
Fueling for quite a bit, almost 30% I think.
Lap 28 of 39. Here comes Silsir into the pits. This is crucial for him. He has a good pit stop if he wants to get past Lands in the pit stops. Well, stay ahead of Lands. And he's going to come out now.
Mike Knight running behind him.
Yeah, Mike in the pits behind him. He's made up some visions as we see Lex and Heavener go wheel to wheel here, and Heavener manages to get the speed on the straight to pass him. Lex having a look into the final chicane but can't do anything there. There's Pom in the pits now after his problem.
And we still have 10 laps to go in this Grand Prix.
And here comes Lawson. This is crucial stop then. Can he get out in front of Silsir? Silsir will have the whole lap on his new tyres though, so it's going to be a tough one if he wants to beat him.
And out he goes. Just behind
there goes Silsir through. Silsir has made second place in this race. Great outlap for him. And Lance will now have a large job to do if he wants to catch up. He's also got Mike Knight behind him. Looks like they're all closing up in the closing stages of this race, apart from Taney, who has comfortable lead.
Taney coming in for the last time, I think.
Without a pit stop problem, we'll certainly get back out in the lead here. He just built up a insurmountable gap.
Yeah, and after Day's crash, he's just had a fairly easy race from there.
You can see Etmill's way behind now, not even in sight of Taney.
Yeah, and Edmund still has to pit.
Here's Mr. Pomp. He's coming over the radio to his team saying his car isn't working properly. And you have to say seems to be a main feature of these moron-built cars, but what do you expect from a car built by a moron?
Yeah, definitely.
Seems to be quite reliable, and there's the leader coming up to lap him, so he'll have to give... Oh, and look, you just can't steer it in places. There's Etmill in second place. He has to make another stop, so Etmill really has to be not held up here, and Palm lets him pass, as he should. And Pablino in the pits then. So Etmill will probably come out about 5th, but it's about what he can do with his new tyres, whether he can make up positions, and there's Palm, all off the road.
And again, and again, and again.
And there we go, he's retiring from the race. Unfortunate for him.
Yeah. Struggling for many laps there, but finally retiring.
So here is the battle. Well, at the moment it's the 4th. This will probably turn out to be the final podium position.
Yeah, 2nd and 3rd after Edmund pits.
3rd and 4th, yeah. And here's Mike then, making a run. He just can't seem to get alongside on that front straight. Not quite long enough. Falls away past Lance. There's Pablino in the background, and after Etmill pits, he'll come out also very close to this group. So we're going to have all 4 cars battling for the final podium position.
Yeah, it looks very exciting. Very, very exciting for the end of the race.
Here is Etmill then. He's coming in the pits now. This is crucial for him. Can he have a good pit stop?
From 2nd place. There's still only 7 laps to go there. A quick pit stop, and then he will have to be right on tail of the trio.
And here is Mike Knight trying to get past Lance. Can't seem to do it. He gets on the sand. There they are, all 4 cars running very close to each other. Lance leads the group from Mike Knight, from Pablino, from Etmill. Taney leads the race by Silseer, about 10 seconds. Incredible gap pulled by Taney.
Edmund has now only 6 laps to catch up. We have to remember all these 3 drivers are very, very quick right now, so it will be very difficult for him.
Yeah, although Emil does have the newest tyres of them all.
Yeah, he does.
In fact, it's almost in reverse order, so the group should be going from slowest to fastest, because Lance stopped the earliest, I think, of this lot, and then Mike, then Pablino, then Etmill. So here is Pablino challenging Mike Knight, 4th place. Great drive from Pablino, really, considering how bad his start was. Fell back to the left.
Yeah. And Drago makes way for Etmill.
Etmill needs them to battle so that he can catch up.
He still lost a bit of ground.
Great drive from all these drivers, really. Mike Knight, also his worst ever qualifying position, up to 4th. Pablino, that awful start, up to 5th, or 4th. Still trying to find a way past. Seems to be very hard to pass on this circuit, I have to say. That's one of the features.
Still hasn't made.
Personally, I think the corner before the long straight's a bit too easy, and that's what's making it so hard to pass. Because you can't get a significant speed difference off that corner unless you have really a lot better tyres or a lot less fuel. And of course, at this end of the race, they all have the same fuel. And here comes Pablino, then he's trying to force a move into turn 5, just looking there to try and make Mike Knight make a mistake.
Edmund coming closer now. Lance is still leading this group, but
Oh, it looks like Mike Knight got on the sand a bit there, and here is Taney then, lapping cars. Only 4 laps to go. He's completely total unstop, as everyone would say, in the lead.
Yeah,
Seems over, you could say.
total non-stop, yeah. And it will be seems over for Edmund too if he can't find a way past.
And there goes Pablino trying to force the way up to it. Great pass in turn 5, just forced his way up there. Excellent stuff. Now can he touch that one? And they're going to battle side by side again.
Made him a slight mistake there, going wide.
Mike Nike's going to try and get a better run down this back straight. Good defence from Pablino. Good stuff.
And he has.
So that means Fun is running 3rd and 4th, still continuing their strong showing left over from the Italian Grand Prix. Here's Etmil then. He's closed back up onto the back of Mike now. Oh, he's and that's going to lose in time.
He's coming in, joining,
that was
trying
good.
to find. No. Oh
Yeah,
God.
Doubtful he can catch right the way back up now. Try and make another cracking tick.
It's just 2 or 3 laps to go, so he lost time again.
That's what you got to do. You got to follow. But can't risk it too much. And look at that. Mike got a great drive off that corner, and he's back up to 4th. Here is Taney then.
Going for his final lap.
Great stuff from Taney. Excellent drive. I have to say, gifted to him a little bit, but he still put in a stunning drive to showing us the free stop strategy is fastest. And fastest by a long margin ahead of Silsea.
Yeah, if you opt for a 3 stop, then you have to be really quick and constant all the time. I mean, just constantly pushing yourself.
And Taney has done just that. Off the final chicane, Taney wins the British Grand Prix. Great drive.
Second, we will see his seconds.
Silsea. And there comes Lance, Mike Knight, Pablino. So in the end, that group couldn't manage to pass each other. Here's Day coming over the line, struggling over the line. An excellent win from Taney though. Great win. Over 10 seconds I believe. Lex coming over the line. Good drive from him. Lead lap finish I believe.
Yep.
So, great race. Not as impressive as the Italian Grand Prix, but still had some great battling all the way through the field.
Up until the last corner.
Yeah, great stuff. Those last 4, those group from 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th all running together in those final laps was pretty intense stuff. What shed some light on just what it feels like when you're racing that close.
It kind of feels like, I mean, when you're just trying to find the quickest way to make up the gap, and it's a struggling. I mean, really struggling, and annoying if you do make a mistake, and it's really annoying. And if you have drivers such as Mike Knight and Lance in front of you, then you have to feel lucky if you do pass them. But if you don't, it's a slight disappointment then.
Yeah, it's just very hard to pass these F1 races. We were treated to a bit of a pass fest last race when everybody was feeling out the strategy. A bit less exciting this race. We still did see some great battling. Pablino and Mike, for instance, had a great battle on those final laps. Pablino passed him into turn 5, then Mike Knight, the next lap, got the drive onto the back straight and passed him back. So, here's confirmation of the results. So we can hear the national anthem from the Netherlands playing in the background for Taney. Very proud moment for him. 11.5 seconds he built Silsea from. Lance finishes on another podium after his win last week, 13 seconds behind. Mike Knight an excellent 4th from 11th on the grid. Pablino 5th after a terrible start. Etmil 6th, which is 1 less than he qualified I believe, so good work from him. Heavenen, a good lead lap finish from him. That wasn't expected. Lex finishing 8th. Dell, good finish from him in 9th. Lux 10th. Wockinger in his second ever race I believe, after he raced the rookie race last week, is 11th, which is good work from him. Ivan Drago, 12th. Popovic, 13th, just ahead of Dede. So Dede managed to make up a few positions.
Yeah.
Which will only be crucial if he has another retirement, and he's got to hope he doesn't.
He finishes 14th again, just in front of Satan.
That's Mr. Pom, 18th place, Shy Guy, 19th place. That's unlucky from them. Not good, not what they wanted. Both of them having retirements. Dede had a connection problem, seemed to be able to carry on, whereas those two could not. So Taney celebrating his win. Great stuff. Dominating drive. Nobody could touch him, even at the stops. He just filled the gap when he needed to, setting robot laps.
Very fast, very quick, and very, very constant.
Hopefully we'll have a better battle next week. Hopefully Dede can bring the fight to him then, and perhaps the fun cars can get up there and try and challenge for the win.
I'm sure we'll be looking forward to that.
Here's the point standings then. Lance and Taney are tied on 94 points after they both got a win in third place. Mike Nike is in third, 82 points, 12 points behind. Then just 1 point behind them, it's Etmil. Evening, the highest placed moron, in 5th place. Good work from him, really. Shy Guy after his retirement is only 6th, so he didn't fall too far. Dal is 7th, so good work from him. Lex is 8th, Popovich 9th, Mr. Pom 10th. Lux 11th, Dede 12th, so he really needs to get his act together now with the championship. Zil, his plus teammate, is in 13th, Jacob 14th, Drago 15th, Silcia 16th. He, of course, didn't race last week, but he'll have a chance to still win the championship as long as he doesn't miss 2 more races. He can only miss 1 more now. Sestan 17th, Kikiriki 18th, Pavlino 19th after his performance. He also didn't race last week. Higu 20th, he didn't race this week. Kaina 21st, Iron 22nd, Wakacha 23rd. Just exciting stuff, top point standings. I'm sure we'll have a great battle for the championship this year.
Yeah, surely.
See if the defending champion Dede can beat him after his poor start to the season. No team standings yet, but it's still deciding on the format for that. We don't know yet what they're going to do. So, a great race at the British Grand Prix. I'll look forward to seeing you again next week. It's goodbye from me, James Tucker.
Yeah, and goodbye from me, Sander Zuck. See you next week.
Good night.